What's up guys, welcome to another video. This is Sunny from personalmasteryquest.com, and in this video I want to talk about something very important. And this is something that I have personally noticed through my experience about why people struggle to build wealth throughout their life. But before I even venture off into this video, I just want to state that I am personally also starting on my journey, to create wealth in this life, and by no means am I wealthy. But through research and observation, I have made a discernment between people who build wealth, throughout their lifetime, maybe even when they're older, and compared to people who don't. And there are very vivid differences. To really understand this video properly, you have to start to look at everything as energy. Start to look at everything, including money, as just a form of energy and an exchange of value. So when you are, let's just say, going to a movie, you are consuming energy, right? It's energy that someone else produced. They created it into a product and they sold it to you. And in order to experience and consume that energy, you had to give something in return. You had to also give some type of value to the person who produced that energy. So what you did was give them value through money. You gave them energy through money, and they gave you energy back. It was a simple exchange of value. Anything that you buy, any experience, any product, anything is just you purchasing value. You're purchasing energy, and you purchase it by giving energy in return. Some people maybe do favors for, just say, a restaurant. If they eat their food, they'll wash their dishes. Most people pay for the food, and it's just a simple exchange of energy. So really wrap your head around this. All transactions in the world, all these interactions are just an exchange of energy. When you do something for somebody, you are giving them value, you are helping them, you are giving them energy, and they pay you back somehow in return with their energy. So when you understand this concept, now when you shift your focus on how to make money, it really comes all down to producing value for other people, right? If you want other people to give you their value, their energy, you have to do something for them in return. You have to produce value for them somehow. So you'll see this across the globe. The people who produce the most energy, people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they're billionaires, right? Bill Gates. But people who produce less and less energy for other people and for the world, produce less value, they are the ones that don't make as much money. For the sake of this video, by the term value, I mean value for the marketplace, value for the economical world, because it's hard to compare value, right? Who's to say that a mother who stays home to raise her child isn't providing value to the world? For the purpose of this video, I'm not talking about just that kind of value. I'm talking about only value that you provide to the marketplace. So how people make money and build wealth throughout their lifetime is they produce more energy, more value than they consume, and then they build on the energy that they previously created. Now, there are two parts to this. Number one is producing more energy than you consume. First of all, what does producing energy even mean? It means using your consciousness, using your creativity, your mental processes to create something, right? So if you're just thinking of creating energy, it could be anything. It could be you doing a painting. You're using your creativity, your consciousness to create something in this physical world, writing a book or making a video, right? Now, if you want to get paid on that energy that you just created with your consciousness, that energy that you created has to value someone. So this is the difference between value and just energy. Energy is just something that you create, right? Something like a painting. But if you want that painting to sell, it has to be of value to somebody so that somebody can give you that exchange, give you their value and take your value from you. Rich people produce more value than they consume. So they spend less money and they produce more value for other people. So they, over time, begin to build this wealth. Most people, what we call the middle class, they consume just as much value as they produce. So whatever their income is, they're usually spending most of it, if not all of it. And throughout their life, they just kind of remain balanced and go through life just like that. Whereas some people consume more energy than they produce. And these are the people that you see in debt. Now, the second part of this is that wealthy people build on their value. They build on the energy that they previously created. They invest their time and energy into things that grow rather than things that are here for a moment and then just vanish. Take, for example, two fast food workers. One fast food worker, both of them, they have a fixed salary. They both are producing the same amount of value throughout their time at work. They're both working 8 hours a day and they are providing the same amount of value to their company. But one of the workers goes home and despite being tired because he just worked hard all day on his feet, he creates a website on which he just writes about what the things that he knows, the things that he's interested in. So he uses his consciousness to start creating something, right? He's bringing something into existence and he builds on it every single day. He starts writing a lot of blog posts. Eventually, the blog posts generate a lot of attention because they're helping other people. They're creating value for other people. The second fast food worker just goes home and watches television all day until he goes to sleep, and then he just goes back to work the next day to create the same amount of value, consistent amount of value that he created the previous day. Now the difference here is this. The second fast food worker, right? The value that he creates at work doesn't build. The value that he creates on one day of working in that fast food job, the value is diminished in that day, right? Because it's providing very short-term returns for the people who are consuming that value. But the first fast food worker goes home and he's building on his previous creativity, his previous energy, and he's providing more long-term value to the people consuming his energy. Maybe he's giving them ideas, maybe he's inspiring them in some way to further create a better change in their lives. So his energy is constantly building as he continues to write more blog posts and perfect and hone his craft and work on his quote-unquote business. The first fast food worker in the long term has a greater income potential just because instead of just doing his job every single day where the value just diminishes that day, he actually picked up a side project and started to build and created something that became stronger and stronger and more valuable to more people around the world. So if you're really going to take anything away from this video, take away the fact that don't look for shortcuts to wealth. Building wealth is something that comes, throughout your life. There is no shortage of time. Wealth can only be used up while you are here. So if you are here for a long time, you have a long time to build that wealth, but don't wait. And don't try to find these shortcuts like just the lottery or whatever. Play it for fun if you'd like, but don't bank on that as your only way into wealth. Start to simply work on yourself. In the beginning, there really will be no returns. But as you start to produce things that you like, that you enjoy, chances are that someone somewhere in the world will find value in what you create. Take me, for example. Before, when I had no idea what I wanted to do, I just simply started writing a blog. And that eventually evolved into courses. Now it evolved into these YouTube videos and my coaching. So in the beginning, there was really not much income potential, right? But eventually it's just a slow rise. And what you'll see is that this rise is often exponential. If you look at the wealth of any billionaires throughout history, what you'll see is that their income remained pretty consistent for a long time, but they just continue to build. They just continue to create more and more value. And eventually they saw an exponential spike in their wealth. You can actually do this right now by looking up Warren Buffett's exponential wealth curve. And you'll see that he reached that exponential curve very later on in his life. Building wealth is something that happens over time. It doesn't have to take that long of a time, but don't try to look for an easy way out, because really the only way that you will get lasting wealth is by building yourself up first, becoming ready to produce the amount of value that is beneficial to a lot of people that they want to consume and that they're happy to give you their value in return for it. Once you start looking at money as energy, it will change the entire way you go about this wealth building process. So the two principles to create lasting wealth in your life over time is 1, produce more value than you consume. And then number 2, build on the previous value that you created. build on the previous energy, become more valuable to more people. That's all I have for this video. I hope you found value in it. If you did, give me a thumbs up and share this video with a friend. If you'd like to get coached by me one-on-one, check the link in the description box below. Other than that, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.